Fire season is underway in parts of central Oregon. The Oregon Department of Forestry says dry grass, low snowpack, and warm weather are raising the fire risk early this year.
Starting today, fire danger is set at moderate in Hood River and Wasco counties. That means no debris burning without permission, and some fire-related activities are now banned. Officials say escaped burn piles are still the top cause of human-started wildfires in Oregon.
Now, the start of fire season comes as a prescribed burn in the Deschutes National Forest was declared a wildfire after several spot fires spread outside the planned burn area. The Pine Mountain Fire is burning about 14 miles southeast of Bend and has grown to more than 2,400 acres. Right now, crews have it about 15% contained. Officials say the east side of the fire has encountered the Pine Fire Scar from 2024, which has slowed the fire spread.